things we get every day. That's a chance and a choice. Let's put more value on the choices that we make because our choices is what determine our destination.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The thoughts, views shared here are just that, views. We just conversing, sharing perspective while having fun. So don't take this shit personal and definitely don't try this at home. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's get to it.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Thank y'all for tapping into the show, man. Thank you to the new subscribers, everybody that has been supporting the channel, man. Y'all are far too kind. Real spill. You know, to all the people that's out hustling, working hard, working on your fitness, getting your paper, trying to achieve your dreams, let me give you a round of applause also. I got a dope show for y'all today. I want to make an announcement. The Jackson Boys, you know, we come on every Sunday night and live stream and talk the talk, the family. It won't be no episode tonight, but we will be going live and we'll be streaming live in the studio tomorrow for y'all to check out. And, you know, just check out our recording process, the camaraderie. All of us going to be together in the same room. It won't be no, you know, us in different rooms and trying to converse and all of that. But, you know, I got a dope show for y'all today, man. You know, the Jay-Z New York Times interview, it sparked debate. You know, right after that interview went off, Dame Dash, he went on Art of Dialogue and he started talking crazy about Jay. Announcement was made that Rick Ross and French Montana is locking in and they doing a versus battle. Druski, the host, the BET Awards. You know, AZ is continuously releasing music. We're going to talk about that also. We got to converse about these freestyles that's been coming out that's been hard. You know what I'm saying? There's been some nice music dropping. We got a few more topics too. You know, YNW Melly has spoke out. We're going to react to the Corey Guns freestyle, the Young Chris freestyle, the substitute teacher in Florida. You know, it was a lot going on there though. But before we get into the show and everything, you know how we do. We create the vibes. We make sure that the music is right. And Chris Brown dropped. He dropped something featuring Leon Thomas. Let's get right to it.
They never said our break would be like this. Hellbound without a sound. On my knees and my heart's on the ground. I'd wait a long time, cross that road. Yeah. For you, girl, I would've gone through the fire, almost lost my soul. But you knew somehow, girl, you made me whole. I said I've slept, fell, ain't doing too well. Tryna plant my feet on the floor. Can't believe how I'm falling. Somehow, girl, you wake me up. Baby, we ain't been making love. I just need a taste of your love. I can't believe how I'm falling. I just can't keep chasing love. I've been trying to make it up. I've been trying, I keep falling. Girl, I'm falling. I'm still falling for you, baby. And I don't know what to do, baby. You know I die for you, baby. Fell in love when you landed. Didn't even know you had wings. Fixed the damage at the past did. Fucked it up, I never had shit. I loved you until the casket. I just wish we could get past it. Burning bridges till I'm past me again. Yeah. I can't believe how I'm falling. Somehow, girl, You wake me up. Baby, we ain't been making love. I just need a taste of your love. I can't believe how I'm falling. I just can't keep chasing love. Can't chase it. I keep trying to make it up. I keep falling.
You know, I got a feeling that Chris Brown is about to release a classic. He's going on tour with Usher. Every song that he's released so far from this project has been fire. The video to that song, Fallen, with Leon Thomas, who Leon Thomas is one of the hottest in the game right now. The video is fire. He took it back to Virginia, his home state, and it gave me like Sinners vibes for some reason. It just felt like he was doing the Sinners movie over again, and he had Usher with the Raymond Club and stuff in there. Dope video, dope record, dope feature, Leon Thomas, dope production. Tank was even in the video. Salute to everybody that contributed to making that record great. You know, when I be clipping up conversations and stuff, sometimes I be having to make the visual go away because I don't be wanting to get no copyright strike. And this Jay-Z interview from New York Times, I had to come converse about it because my favorite artist was spoken about on it. He mentioned Pimp C. You know, Pimp C is the representation of the South. He is the person that, you know, influenced a lot of us in the South of the United States. And Bun B been on plenty of interviews. A whole bunch of people has been on plenty of interviews talking about how Pimp C didn't like the beat. It sounded too commercial. It wasn't country enough to the song Big Pimpin'. But we never heard Jay-Z speak out about it. And in this New York Times interview, which he was contributing to the interview to New York Times because they put out a list of the 30 best writers of this century. And Jay-Z was one of them. And it was a couple of more people that I'm forgetting to mention their name or whatever, though. But the focal point for hip hop and for us is Jay-Z as writer credits. And it's interesting because Jay-Z don't even write. You know, he's the person who started talking about putting the lyrics in your head and piecing it up and all of that. And people took that as the gospel, ran with it, and mimicked what Jay-Z doing. But me, I'm the type of person that I write my lyrics down, man. I gotta have it structured so I can be able to say it right, so I can be able to put my emphasis on the words and the things that I'm saying. But let's get on into this interview. This is what Jay had to say about the Pimp.
I'm a fan of songwriting, so I want to know that the outcome. I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out. You know, what is Pimp C going to say on this beat? You know, he didn't like that beat in the beginning. It was just like, hey, Jig, man, that's thing too fruity, man. Like, he thought he was making like the biggest commercial, like, sellout record, and he took some convincing. He still did the song. We actually was really cool once we met each other. I think he had 8 bars. I'm not sure, maybe 12. I think he had 12 bars. 12-bar verse that was like one of the most memorable verses on a song. Cause me and Bun is like, it's the big we just did a triplet flow to it.
Big Pimpin', spin the cheese.
But he did the opposite. He wouldn't even, he cut it in like, I think quarter note, whatever. He cut it like smoke. But I was like, what is he doing? And then by the like 4th bar, I was like, oh my God. Just beautiful.
You know, a lot of people will talk about Pimp C not being one of the best lyricists. He's not a great rapper or whatever, but his skill set was his emphasis and the feeling and the presentation to his raps. Sometimes simplifying your lyrics can be a good thing, letting them breathe, letting the beat breathe while you rapping and stuff. Because, you know, Jay-Z and Bun B on that song, they was spitting. The lyrics was phenomenal. But it was so complex that, you know, when Pimp came on, it was something memorable about it that anybody in the world heard that song twice and can say his verse, lyric, ball for ball. It's unforgettable. It's one of the best verses of all time in hip hop. And even on the International Players Anthem song, a lot of people give Andre 3000 the best verse on that song, which I do also. And his verse was simplified, Andre 3000 on that International Players song. But we can't downplay what Pimp C did. It may not have been the best lyrics, metaphors, and all that other type of stuff, double entendres, triple entendres, and all of that, but it's something special about when you can implement the feeling and you know it's real, and it's, you know, it's just something about Pimp C flow. And you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the Pimp, man. Salute to Jay-Z for finally speaking on it. You know, it was something that I'm dealing with because I'm in the process of recording the album right now. And to hear Jay-Z talk about this was interesting to me because he gave the clips a shout out. He was talking about authenticity and how in the game now, you know, a lot of people want to stay popular. They want to keep and obtain the finances from the game instead of creating a dope body of work or a piece of art that is, you know what I'm saying, speaking to them and the time that they living in. You know, that was something that Tupac was great at, speaking to the moment, his reality. Now, these rappers, to me, majority of them, they just want to, once they get popular, they just want to stay popular. And they be 50 years old trying to cater to a younger audience. And that's just not authentic. But let me play the clip. Let's go.
All the time, never fight against the future. Future's coming. Artists, they were trying to recreate something that was already done, but they're not connected to it like that. They're not living it and breathing it. They were fighting against gravity as opposed to telling their story. We needed that other side. We needed to hear about what happens when you've had 4 successful albums. What happens? What is that feeling like? How do you make the next one? How did you get in the studio? How are your kids? How do you interact with them as this hip hop dad? But if you're trying to make young music and you're not young, it's going to be inauthentic and people can feel that. You can smell it. So the best thing that anyone can do, like going through music, is to tell a story and just keep creating from that space. I love what the clips are doing right now, and how it's authentic to them. And they're telling the story about their mom and dad who just passed away, and how deep that is, with John Legend singing on the chorus, and everything that they've been through is an authentic display, a piece of classic material that it could have came out 96 or come out 2026. It still feels the same because it's real and it's authentic to.
You know what's interesting about all of this and what was being said during that clip is the fact that he gave clips a shout out. And I've seen people on the internet say, and all over social media and YouTube and TikTok, all over the place, say that they still rapping about drugs though. But if that's all you can hear, then I feel like you didn't hear the growth in the clips. You didn't hear the growth in Malice speaking about his mother and his father and losing a child. Pusha T talked about losing a child. The life experiences is in the lyrics so much that all people can hear is coke rap. That means that you ain't listening to the lyrics. People say the same thing about me. You know, I've been dissed before subliminally by artists and stuff, talk about all he do is rap about the trap. Well, if that's my reality, then why wouldn't I want to do that also? You know what I'm saying? It's just that some people accept what they accept and like what they like and don't want to understand the path that the person is on and the path that the person is growing through, the things that they going and growing through. And also other things that was being said that I seen is that he was taking a shot at Drake by talking about you catering to a younger artist, but you're not young. Some people will say that he's saying that now because he's getting up there in age. And, he is thinking about that now. He's thinking about authenticity and stuff. When these guys are just now turning 40, they still want to remain relevant and young and all of that. But time is something that is undefeated. If you remain authentic, your career can last longer. You see how people are thirsty for an Andre 3000 album. It don't matter if he's 70, people gonna want it. You know what I'm saying? But Andre 3000 is the type of guy say, what am I gonna say at 50? I ain't got nothing to say. When in our reality, he got plenty to say. Life experiences is worth saying and worth mentioning. People want to hear about your life experiences. I feel like I'm releasing an album, and I'm going to just announce the release date, late August, early September. And during my creative process, I've thought about a lot. I thought about like speaking from experience, not trying to cater to nobody. Just make good, high quality music. Just make sure that it's good and you speaking something that resonates with your soul. Because catering to an audience that may not even accept you is something that is interesting. For real. Remain authentic, man. Salute to Jay-Z for that. DJ Akademiks reacted to that, and he said what he had to say about his thoughts, and he thought that he was taking a shot at Drake.
I'm gonna say the elephant in the room, man. This is hating ass Jay-Z once again. He talking to Drake, man. Drake turning 40 this year. He trying to like, he one of them type of nigga gonna give you the bad advice that hopefully you follow, and then when you get unsuccessful, he be like, well, at least you tried. At least you know them people be like, well, at least you did it the right way. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, Jay-Z had a whole career. That nigga said 30's a new 20 when he became 30. The nigga said, I'm young forever. And now that he's 70, he's trying to tell other niggas, nah, y'all gotta make music like y'all old now, man. Nah, don't do what I was doing, saying 30 the new 20, young forever. Y'all gotta leave the youth alone. Man, if this thing don't get the fuck out of here. I keep telling y'all, man, Jay-Z the type of nigga, bruv, when he ready to, Jay-Z likes to put a bow on a lot of bullshit. The guy's 70. Half his life, Jay-Z was like 50 when he was like, yo, I'm young forever. What you mean young forever? Let's go back and check out the math. Jay-Z, forever young, that's who we be, forever young. 2009, Jay-Z made that shit, that he young forever. Okay? It was a song on the album released in 2010. How old is Jay-Z now? Jay-Z is 56 in 2026. That means in 2010, which is 16 years ago. 16 years ago, this nigga is 40. Talking about he forever young. 40. I'm forever young. That's who be forever. Hating ass nigga. Hating. You know why? The other niggas, hip hop's top guys now, they're about to be 40. You know what he trying to tell him? Nah, man. We used to tell him that. You Grandpa Hove now. He ain't want to hear it. Forever young. That's what he's saying. 30's the new 20. He was on that R. Kelly shit. That's what Kelly was telling them hoes.
Akademiks do got a point, because we all seen the video of Hove bobbing his head to Khaled new song with Future and Lil Baby, and the song was horrible. You just gotta admit to it, that song was horrible. But was he speaking in general, or was that a shot at Drake? I would like to know y'all thoughts in the comment section below, because I feel as if, let me put my mic down, I feel as if he was speaking in general. I don't feel like that was a shot at Drake. Real talk, to be honest with you, because Drake isn't the only artist that's doing that. Now, Akademiks wasn't the only person that reacted to that interview. You know, Dame Dash was on The Art of Dialogue as of recently. And Art asked him some questions that provoked a lot of emotion in Dame Dash. Let's get to it.
Who got a better catalog, Jay or Kanye?
Kanye. Kanye destroys Jay. Kanye destroys Jay. It's not even the same class. You know what I mean? As far as artistry goes and being creative and all the verticals that are stimulated and the people, no one wants to dress like Jay can't do a clothing line. Kanye has a movement, you know, he's unstoppable. You know, like Kanye don't need nobody to fill an arena. You know, homeboy needs friends. This thing just stands up there and he don't even have to rap. He just does listening sessions in a stadium. Kanye is different and he's bipolar. You know what I mean? He's paused. He's pure art. The world should be so grateful for Kanye's presence because he keeps things so interesting. The world would be so boring without Kanye. It's like Van Gogh. Like any minute he could cut his ear off while he's painting, but it's always art. Kanye is an artist. Jay's not an artist. Jay's a well, I'm not gonna say that, allegedly. I would say Jay's just more of he's cunning. And he doesn't mind playing with the devil.
What you mean by cunning?
He's cunning. Like, you know, he'll make you believe that you're his brother and he really hates you.
Oh my goodness. Before I even start to give my soliloquy, I'm going to give Dame Dash a round of applause because his hate is consistent. The better catalog. For me, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is my favorite album of all time. My second favorite album of all time is The Blueprint by Jay-Z. When I think about it in totality, Kanye West has the best catalog. No cap. Better rapper? No. Production, mixing, evolving hip hop. Kanye West got the best catalog out of any rapper, and it's not even close. Any rapper is not even close. He may not be the best lyricist, he may not be the best rapper, but when I think about song for song, I don't think nobody want no smoke with Ye. Just real talk, man. Dame Dash said that Jay can't do a clothing line. Jay did a clothing line, Rockaware, and it was successful. And he cut you out the deal and took the profits and ran. And you was upset about that, and you still upset about that. That's hate. Even though Ye has had the more successful fashion influence than Jay-Z. He has the better catalog. He does have the more fashion influence than Jay-Z. That's a fact. He said that Jay got to bring his friends with him to do a stadium show. And he said Ye doesn't. The SoFi Arena show just a couple of weeks ago, he had CeeLo Green. He had Lauryn Hill. He had Travis Scott. He had a ton of individuals come with him and do the stadium show with him. That's cap. He can't do a stadium show alone. I haven't seen it. He also said the world would be boring without Ye. You know, he does make things interesting, but the things that he do sometimes can be foolishness and laughable. But in our reality, what he said on that thing, though, besides the hate, that he has the better catalog, I agree with that, Dame Dash. But Dame also had this to say about Reasonable Doubt.
Kanye catalog over Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint, the Black Album.
Reasonable Doubt doesn't sell shit. Why you think I gave it away? Nobody made no money off that shit. Barely went gold. Nobody gives a fuck about Reasonable Doubt other than people that were there. Nobody gives a fuck about Reasonable Doubt. Ask some kid about Reasonable Doubt. They'll be like, nobody cares about Jay-Z as a rapper. No kid gives a fuck about Jay-Z at all. They not jacking his hairstyle, his gear. No one's fucking with Jay-Z. No one's listening to them fucking raps. None of that shit. That's all. You know that. When's the last time this nigga made a record? Like, he's an old man. Why the fuck should he be making records? But ain't nobody jacking AZ. He's not. No one, since, I'm going to tell you what killed Jay-Z, them fucking dress shirts. That put him out of business. He wasn't fly after that. No one, he couldn't recover for them dress shirts. Show me a picture of me in a Yankee in a dress shirt with cufflinks, please. Let me know. Or some Van Dutch and all that. Like, show me any picture of me in any of that clown shit. I'm the coolest. I'll be like, yo, these niggas, think about how I'm looking. Like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, my homeboys used to like, still got these fucking motorcycle boots on. My homeboys used to give me hell for this nigga, man. They thought he was the funniest, he didn't have the kind of, he's not that, no dishes. I don't want to start this, but let's go. You know what I mean? But like fly, look, I'm a fly. I made this shit too. It's brand new. Look at this. You see the CEO swim trunks and shit?
Oh, man. I like Dame Dash, man. And I like that he's back cocky and popping his stuff, though. But he's wrong. And earlier in the show, when we played the clip about authenticity and not trying to cater to the youthful audience when you get up there in age, Jay-Z said that earlier in the show when I played the clip. But Dame Dash is saying no kids give a about Jay-Z. Jay-Z isn't trying to cater to the kids. Like you still dressing like a kid, and I don't want to seem like I'm taking shots at Dame Dash because we seen the outfit he had on, shorts and a t-shirt and a hat. He's still dressing like a kid and then rags on Jay for wearing business attire because he's a businessman. He's up to Billy. He's moving like a businessman. What you expect him to wear? This is not me defending Jay-Z and taking shots at Dame Dash, but sometimes people have to call out the foolishness. And that was foolishness what he's talking about. He said that Hov ain't did a record in a long time. I remember being in LA when Khaled dropped that album and that 4-minute verse God Did came out with Weezy, Rick Ross, and then Hov came on and rapped for damn near 4 minutes. A phenomenal verse, a phenomenal record, man. Just real talk. It seemed like it's been like a hate train on Jay-Z lately. And he said this year he's going to be on offense. He ain't going to be defending himself this year. I like that he's back outside talking. I like the fact that Dame Dash is responding. Jay is getting into the same field with Dame now and into the content creation world. It's just interesting to see how their relationship ended and where it's at today. And I'm here for it. I want to see what comes of it. I'm going to be here when Jay does his Yankees show. I'm looking forward to some new music being released from Hov. And let's just move along in the conversation, man. Let's give these brothers a round of applause for creating the content for us to react to. So RZA was on Jason Lee's podcast. He was in Hollywood Unlocked or whatever it's called. And Jason Lee asked RZA, the legendary producer from Wu-Tang, about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. And, the conversation went back to the interview that Jay-Z did earlier in the year, talking about that beef is something that is not needed anymore in the culture because it doesn't evolve the culture. It's not beneficial. And RZA had something to say that I think everybody needs to hear. And I'm going to give y'all my take on why I felt as if it was important.
Okay, I want to go back to a couple of questions on the music. So Jay-Z recently came out and said that when he spoke about the Drake and Kendrick beef, that beef in hip hop, basically it's not needed or we shouldn't have it. What do you think?
I think competition, hip hop is a sport. It's a sport form of songwriting. It's a sport form of music. And so I think competition is always welcomed. Needed is a big word. Do we need it? No, we don't need nothing. I mean, do we need to do everything we're doing every day, send missiles, and we don't need to do it. You know what I mean? But it is a sport. You know, the battle of the bands go back to Temptations and the Four Tops, and that wasn't even hip hop. You know what I mean? And so, if it's going to build the muscles and make the artist better and make the genre better, then let's welcome it. If it's going to tear the genre down, let's get rid of it.
Do you think the Kendrick and Drake beef did anything good for the genre, or no?
I think it started off good, but I think that it ended up gray. I think it started off good in the sense of, you know, because I'm from the Busy B, Kumo D era, bro, right? The KRS-One, MC Shan, you know what I mean? But I think that it ended gray. What I mean by gray is because, this is going back to what Jay-Z said, we don't know them individually, right? A lot of us don't know Drake and Kendrick individually, haven't met them, a lot of us, and most people. And so what's real about the lyric and what's fake about the lyric is gray, right? But if you believe what Kendrick is saying, then wow, that shit is deep on Drake.
Right.
Or if you believe what Drake is saying, that shit is deep on Kendrick. And that's where it gets ugly. That's where it gets to the point where, like, that's the Pac and Biggie of it all.
Right.
You know, Pac was like, yo, fuck your wife. Yo.
How do you recover from that?
Yo, and to be honest, we believed it. And we still don't even know.
Even though Faith has said she didn't, because it was said, some people still believe it.
You know, it's welcomed, but it's not needed. I speak about this all the time to my family. I really don't talk about it that much on podcasts, but to people that I collaborate with, like, I really don't like competition like that, because it can get heated and it can go further than it need to go. You know, also, when I think about beef, I've been dissed a multitude of times on records and I never responded. And I'm going to tell y'all why I never responded. I feel as if, like, you know, if you're unbothered by a nigga spewing his foolishness and you don't respond, it makes him more angry than if you do respond. I could never entertain somebody dissing me, because at the end of the day, I don't want my legacy tied to them. I felt like, you know, when Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef first started, Drake shouldn't acknowledge Kendrick. And the reason I feel that way is because he was on top. He couldn't go no higher. And he got knocked down a few notches, and Kendrick evolved from it, but it's an individual evolve. Hip hop didn't evolve from that beef. Kendrick ain't even collaborating with niggas, putting people on like how Drake was doing. This is not a shot at Kendrick, because I like his music. I like him as an artist, but he ain't doing enough collaborations to assist artists. That's why he's the hottest, like Drake was doing. Just real talk, he's not doing it. But to be honest with you, at the end of the clip when he was talking about it's the Biggie and Tupac thing, you know, it's no rules in battle and in beef. That's why I don't even contribute to it at all, because if you start speaking on me, or I understand why they take it to the next level, because why not? It's not rap no more. It's personal. To me, one of the most disrespectful beef songs of all time is Young Dolph's Play With Your B, and he lost his life from it. It's just interesting, man. RZA, I salute RZA. He's a GOAT producer, Wu-Tang producer though, but competition is welcomed, but it's not needed. That's an interesting take. I need to know y'all thoughts on that, because I feel like it's not needed also. And I agree with everything Jay-Z said in that previous interview about how it's altering the game. It's not, it's removing people that we want to hear collaborate. You know, is beef better than collaboration? Cause at the start of 2026, when T.I. and 50 Cent, T.I. sons coming at 50 Cent, Mano and everybody coming at 50 Cent, a beef song every other day. Do we want beef songs or collaboration? Because people gonna give you whatever you want to stay relevant. And I'm sick of the beef. I'm sick of grown ass niggas mad for no reason. They don't even be knowing each other. They just know what they heard about them on the internet or their songs or what they dislike about them. We got Gucci releasing a snitch record on Pooh Shiesty after he got robbed. It's too much. Like the beef song is starting to become, the beefing is lame. Just real talk. The beefing is lame. Let me get into this article. I got this article pulled up. You know, let me do it right. Verzuz. We got a Verzuz coming up. French Montana and Rick Ross. Before I read the article, I want to give y'all my take. You know, I like early French Montana a whole lot. You know, Coke Way, the Coke Boys, the Mac and Cheese, the records with Max B, the records with Gucci Man. You know, French Montana is dope. He's a dope artist. But after his biggest hit with Sway Lee, Unforgettable, the music started to get real commercial. The All the Way Up and all of that with Fat Joe, it started getting real commercial. And I know people want to be successful, but to me, I like the dirty, the soul samples, the hurry fraud French Montana. That's just, you know, my preference of music. And I like that French Montana. I think that French Montana is coming out against Rick Ross, and you know, this is going to be interesting. Let me read the article. So Rick Ross and French Montana are the next stars to set face off in a Verzuz battle, according to Complex. Rose and Montana will be going hit for hit during the next entry in the popular battle series, which is set to happen May the 7th in Los Angeles, billed as a battle of club anthems. Oh, I'm so sick of it being in LA. LA, man, them folks, they getting too much money. They too clean out there, and they don't be into it like that. Pause. But battle of club anthems? I want to hear more of them club anthems. I want to hear them dirty records where they really rapping. This marks Ross' second time appearing on Verzuz, as he competed against 2 Chainz back in August of 2020 during the early months of the series. Ross and Montana have collaborated several times on numerous hits over the years, with popular tracks like Pop That, Marble Floors, Stay Scheming, Nobody, and most recently, Minks in Miami. Rose recently talked about the state of music in 2026 and said that Africa is the sound of the moment, and the continent's spotlight is overdue. Wow. Africa is the most popular music right now, but he right. Let me not try to critique it. It ain't the sound that I want to hear, to be honest with you. I don't want to hear Afro beats and all of that. But he was on CNN when he mentioned that about the rise of Afro beats. For the ones that really understand live and real music, you understand it's been well overdue for a long time. Ross also revealed that he's working on a collaborative project with African artists. So many African artists, producers, big ones, small ones. We've been collaborating on this project for over 12 months, he explained. Halfway through this year, get ready for it. We're going to do some real big things. Verzuz is happening at the Apple Music Studios in Los Angeles and streaming live on Apple Music. Are y'all excited for the French Montana and Rick Ross Verzuz? So look at these people. I don't know who these people is on this Instagram post, but it said club hits versus club hits. It makes sense. What they said. Wow, I ain't gonna lie. I F with French, but Ross got some. This is about to be crazy. Suge Knight, actually a good matchup. Need them Dat Piff classics. That's what we need, them Dat Piff classics. I respect Ross for being competitive enough to do a second Verzuz, doing multiple shows. How confident you are in your catalog. Oh, we need to get a second section at the party. I love French Montana, but I gotta go with Rose here. Both of them got slappers, but I'm biased French. Even expecting this, laughing my ass off. French brother pulled them classics out. That's a fact. He better pull them classics out, and he got them also. Salute to them brothers, man. Real talk. I'm looking forward to the versus battle. I think that it will be interesting. I'm going to come back and react to it on the channel after it sets off. I want to know y'all thoughts in the comment section below. What are some of the songs that y'all want to hear? Do y'all want to see a real battle, or do y'all want to see it be just a friendly, you know what I mean, song for song situation? And who y'all want to see next in verses? Because I got a take that I want to give. I heard it on the Joe Budden podcast. I think it'll be good too. They was mentioning Wale and Meek Mill on Joe Budden's platform on the last episode that was released. Wale and Meek Mill in a versus battle. You know, it's tension there. So it will be interesting. Real talk. Would that be of y'all interest also? Ooh-wee. Let's move along in the conversation. You know, in Florida, it was a substitute teacher. We're going to get into a little bit of teaching. I don't have no children or anything, but I want to figure this out. I want to look at this video with y'all. It was a substitute teacher. She was twerking. She was acting belligerent. She was doing a lot. That's all I'm going to say. She was doing a lot. And she was supposed to be in control of a classroom and some kids and things. To me, education is something that is important. It is something that is going to the wayside in America, to be honest with you. I see a lot of colleges talking about they can't afford to stay open, or they're merging with other colleges and stuff. I see teachers going on strike, and they rallying together talking about they ain't getting paid enough to do this type of work. And y'all kids are depending on us for their future. So it's a lot going on in the educational realm in the United States right now. And I just want to play this news clip for y'all, and we're going to give a take on this.
A substitute teacher in Lake County has gotten several citations after detectives say they got into a physical fight with a student.
All this happened at Lake Mineola High School today. And West 2's Haley Crumblehome actually spoke with parents tonight and got her hands on a report from the sheriff's office.
Yeah, it all happened here today at Lake Mineola High School. And unfortunately, based on that report, it sounds like this may have all been part of some kind of mental health crisis. There was allegedly shouting and inappropriate comments from this substitute teacher before she's accused of grabbing a girl in the class by the head and neck.
Clearly something.
Jeff Hensley and his daughter Maya, a 9th grader at Lake Mineola High School, watched some of the videos circulating online of a substitute in a classroom filled with students at the high school.
In one of the videos, the teacher's in front of the classroom and she's swearing and she's slamming her hands on things and talking about being a sex worker. And then she starts twerking in front of the kids.
What the videos don't appear to show is what else happened. The Lake County School District said the substitute had a physical altercation with a student.
It's just kind of crazy to think about, you know?
According to a case report from the Lake County Sheriff's Office, school resource deputies got an alert to respond to a classroom and found a substitute yelling incoherently. It said through statements and investigation, they found that the sub had been acting erratically and making inappropriate statements to students, including, according to the report, telling them that she would engage in sexual activity with them and referring to herself as a $1 million prostitute. The report says one of the last students to leave the classroom was yelled at by the sub and that the sub placed her hands on the girl. It says deputies observed red marks on the girl's neck, consistent with being forcibly grabbed. The report says after deputies got there, the sub wouldn't follow commands to leave the classroom. She was ultimately detained, placed in hand restraints, and taken to the front office. The report says based on her erratic behavior and apparent altered mental state, EMS was requested.
I hope that the substitute teacher gets whatever help she needs. I hope that the student's okay. So, you know, again, concern as a parent and, you know, like empathy as a human being.
The school district said parents of the student were notified immediately and that an automated phone call went out to LMHS parents saying the teacher was arrested on campus after a physical altercation with a student. The sheriff's office said there was no physical arrest, but that the sub was issued a misdemeanor citation and will have to appear in court. Hensley said he didn't get the automated phone call and said it's another in a series of troubling incidents at the school recently.
Just over the just the course of a few months, and again, you got to ask, why does it keep happening? Why aren't we hearing about things a little bit faster? And like, what are you guys doing to change these things?
The district said the sub was terminated. The sheriff's office said the student's parents declined to press charges. Now, according to that sheriff's office report, a records check indicated that this substitute had a history of bipolar disorder. I did check with the school district to see what kind of vetting process substitute teachers go through. They tell me that all applicants have to go through a criminal background check and that this substitute had no history of arrests. Covering Lake County Live, Haley Crumpelhome, WESH 2 News.
I want to ask a question to the parents in the world today. I want to know in the comment section below y'all main concerns when y'all drop y'all kids off at school. Because when I think about it, like, this lady was dealing with mental health issues. And it's a lot of people dealing with mental health issues. For her to act that erratic in that classroom amongst those kids is something that's very interesting. And you know, the lady in the news says she asked about the vetting process and stuff, but I think that that's such an important job, being a teacher, that, you know, our government don't appreciate it that much to do something about it from a financial aspect. I feel like our government don't care about its own people enough to do something about the mental health aspect that's going on, especially in the black community. You know, it shows that our leaders in this country don't care about black people in general, because, you know, when I see things on the news, like all of this frivolous killing, you know, when I listen to the lyrics of these young rappers, I can tell that they traumatized and they've dealt with certain things that is mental health issues, because the things that they are concerned about shouldn't even be a concern. You see what I'm saying? And looking at this teacher, that energy that she is displaying can be transferred to another individual and they start acting erratic like that. We living in trying times, and our government is showing us that they don't care about their own people at all. That's just my point of view of it. Like, that lady doesn't need charges. She needs help. That's what she actually needs, is help. And, you know, they don't want to help her. And they don't want to help the students also, because if they did want to help the students, then they would do something about it. Now, I'm getting ready to play this video of this lady. You know, we talked about Black Alpha last week approaching Kamala Harris at that speaking event about her book, and she was with The Root. And Black Alpha said that if you don't, you know what I'm saying, if reparations isn't one of your talking points, you're not going to get the black vote. And I have to agree with them. Reparations should be the main talking point. Evolving the community economically should be one of the main talking points for anybody running for president. This is not a shot at Kamala Harris, but I felt like he brought awareness to Kamala Harris because it's needed. She needs to know before she even attempt to run for president what the people want and what the people need, and it's economic balance. And if economic balance is not one of your priorities, you're not going to get the vote. You see, a lot of this trauma, a lot of this mental health stuff comes from people having to deal with daily financial circumstances. Real talk. Let's see what Tabitha Brown has to say, because she spoke about Black Alpha heckling Kamala Harris. Let me turn the audio up before I play it. I don't want the audio to be too low for y'all. Let's get to it.
The reason why I don't identify as foundational Black American or FBA, I identify as Black American, is because I don't want anybody lumping me in with these types of Black people.
Listen, these type of Black people. She just went on and said, I don't want nobody lumping me in with these niggas. So let's see who she's talking about, because FBA was created, by Tariq Nasheed, but the ideology came from Dr. Claude Anderson. I'm going to play the clip again this week also of Dr. Claude Anderson talking about the importance of delineation. And I'm going to get into the Congressional Black Caucus and what has happened with the Civil Rights Act also. But let me let Tabitha speak.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I want to give a huge shout out to my old faithfuls. Thank you so much for all of your support over the years. I also want to give a huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for the additional support that you provide to me and my channel every month. I want to give a huge welcome to the newbies. Thank you so much for clicking on that subscribe button. If you've come across this video and are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'd be happy to have you. Now, Tabitha, why are you going in on the FBAs? Because they do stupid shit like this.
On behalf of foundational Black Americans, we demand cash payment reparations from our...
Am I a foundational Black American? Yes, I am. By definition, I am a foundational Black American. But do not associate me with these Negroes right here. That man went onto the internet, bought a ticket. The ticket prices average $400 a piece. Bought a ticket. Drove down to whatever the venue was, paid for parking, just to sit in the audience to heckle Kamala Harris about reparations. Kamala Harris holds no legislative position. She's not a senator. She's not vice president anymore. She's not president. She's not a state legislative representative. She holds no political office at all.
Tabitha, that's true. But the man spoke because just in case you plan on running again, this is awareness of what we want. $400 and parking, not me. I'm not paying $20. Well, I'll pay $20, but no more than $20 to go see Kamala Harris. You know what I mean? With that word salad, a whole lot of nothing. Let me let her continue on.
And this man paid on average $400 for the ticket to go sit in the audience to heckle Kamala Harris, and then wanted to be further disrespectful and mispronounce her name. I follow a lot of Black men that identify as foundational Black Americans that are clear that they are a part of the FBA. But you know what they don't do? They don't do stupid shit like this. Yeah. Furthermore, it is disturbing to know that there are Black men out there screaming at Kamala Harris about reparations when they clearly don't know that she has come out in support of reparations.
What do you stand on some form of reparations for Black people? Well, look, I think that we have got to address that. Again, it's back to the inequities. America has a history of 200 years of slavery. Mm-hmm. We had Jim Crow. We had legal segregation in America. The Voting Rights Act was only strong for 50 years, and then they wiped it out with this United States Supreme Court and the Shelby decision, to the point that 22 states immediately thereafter put in place laws that one court found were crafted with surgical precision to have Black people not be able to vote. So we've got to recognize, back to that earlier point, people aren't starting out on the same base in terms of their ability to succeed. And so we have got to recognize that and give people a lift up. And there are a number of ways to do it. Part of my initiative, again, around the LIFT Act is that same point. You're lifting people up who are making less than $100,000 a year. What I want to do about rent is the same thing. What we need to do around education and understanding disparities, what we need to do around HBCUs. But we have a history of racism in America.
So you are for some type of...
Yes, I am.
Reparation. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Did you hear?
Some type of reparations, and we all could hear the stuttering. But if I was to clip up what I heard Kamala Harris say, is that she's not going to do anything specific for Black people, because if you become the president, you're the representation of all America. You know, she has been in leadership in California for a long time now. We see those taxes. We see people breaking in Rihanna's house, Chris Brown's house. We see hundreds of thousands of people on Skid Row. We see how they handled the fires out there in California. Do we want that to be the whole nation? You know, she said that when asked that, but she didn't have to be asked to talk about reparations if she was serious about reparations, because economic progress is what the Black community wants the most. Like I said, that's what's causing a lot of our traumas. That's what's causing a lot of our mental health issues, you know, financial circumstances. Let me see what Tabitha got to say now.
What Leonard said? Leonard said, so you are for some type of reparations. And without hesitation, the former Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, said, yes, I am. You see, this is the problem as I see it. You have some Black men, like that Black man in that video, and some Black women who don't understand how government works. They'll take the time, energy, and money to purchase a ticket, to go down to an event, to yell at the former Vice President of the United States their demands. But they won't take the time to go down to the voting booth to vote in the candidates who will get them to their wants and desires.
I'm out. Hey, after she said that, I'm done. I'm done. No disrespect to Tabitha Brown. I'm done. People voted, and didn't get their desires. People voted for Obama. They had the House and the Senate, and LGBTQ members got what they desired. When Biden and Kamala Harris was in office, she has already been in office, they prioritized immigrants and migrants who was coming over here illegally by the millions, and they also was funding illegals. And they had the House and the Senate. And also, we're going to talk about the Congressional Black Caucus also. I'm going to play a video from one of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus. But I want to say people are tired. People have to ask and have to speak out about what they want. But these people in these political seats and has obtained this political power, they have to actually want to show that they want to do something. Or people ain't going to be too quick to get up and speak highly about them. You know, people, when they talk about reparations, they talk about a study. They don't talk about actually obtaining it. They talk about a study. She said people are not voting for the candidates that's capable of doing it. We didn't believe Kamala Harris. She wasn't speaking directly. Even when she had the men's thing, I remember they had that men's situation on BET, and they wasn't talking about nothing. Real talk. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the people, but they wasn't talking about nothing. Now I'm gonna play this clip I heard this white guy say. He's acknowledging that Black America is under attack. I just wanted to play this clip to lead up to something, because this was interesting to me when I seen that this week.
There is something so insidious happening right now to the Black community, and most white people literally have no idea it's even happening. The Black community is under attack right now at a level we haven't seen probably since the Civil Rights era. You know, with the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act earlier today, you've got the purge of Black federal workers, attacks on nonprofit funding with the whole DEI boogeyman. You've got attacks on the social safety net. Overt racism is on the rise across the board. And they're tired, y'all. They are exhausted by this onslaught. And it's self-proclaimed white Christians leading the charge against them on all of these fronts. So if you are a white Christian and you are not deceived by Trump, we need to rally together around our Black brothers and sisters right now. We need to form a wall around them, and we need to say no more. No more, because this isn't right, and we cannot stand by and do nothing as they are getting absolutely pummeled like Reconstruction just ended or something.
Hey, let me give the white guy a round of applause. You know, people seen when Trump got into office this last time, he didn't put his hand on that Bible. America supposed to be a Christian country. If people are actually living by that Bible, the things that is being done to the Black community, to Black people in general, is ungodly. You know, one thing I want to say is that when I heard Dr. Claude Anderson speak for the first time about delineation, I really didn't understand it like how I do now. Because when I see people that's in politics, when I see people that's complaining about what's being done to the Civil Rights Act of 1965, when I see these individuals that are representatives of the Congressional Black Caucus and wanting to assimilate and align with people of the government that is not Black, you want to be a part of what they created. You don't want to create your own. And by us not creating our own, they can remove us from their monopoly game anytime they choose to. So when these folks get in these positions and they think they on their high horse and they forget where they came from and they forget the people who they represent, you look like a total asshole to me. But I want to play this Senator Warnock. I think he's out of Georgia, and he talks about the voters' rights bill. And then we're going to get into this Dr. Claude clip also about delineation.
Always watch what they do, not what they say. The Supreme Court just gutted the Voting Rights Act, a civil rights law that has been on the books for 60 plus years. It is a law that Dr. King, John Lewis, Fannie Lou Hamer, Viola Luiso, and so many others marched and spilled blood for. It is a colossal step backwards for the vibrant multiracial democracy that so many fought so hard to build in our country. If you want to understand why the Supreme Court just did this, you have to look at what politicians are doing. Because ultimately, this is an effort by politicians to decide who their voters are, as opposed to having the voters choose who their politicians are. So let me break it down. During Jim Crow segregation, politicians would draw maps to shut out black voters, to diminish the power of their vote and their voice. And one way was to take a large group of black voters and split them into multiple districts so that they were always a minority and their votes never really mattered. That's called cracking. Another way was to take a large group of black voters, large enough to be majorities in 2 districts, and put them all into 1 district. That's called packing. And through tactics like packing and cracking, creatively drawing the lines, craven politicians who sought to maintain Jim Crow were able to successfully strip black voters of their political power even when they show up. They were able to silence and diminish their voices in our democracy. The Voting Rights Act put a stop to this. Fast forward to today. Before the Supreme Court decision, politicians in many southern states, including my own state of Georgia, were literally lining up plans to deprive black citizens of representation by this very same mechanism. And now they're saying the quiet part out loud, that they plan to take cohesive black communities and minimize their influence. That's why we need the Voting Rights Act, because these abuses are happening in real time. Without it, these politicians will move to deprive black voters of their voice. They will move to do the very thing that the Voting Rights Act was meant to prevent. This was all telegraphed beforehand. None of this was in secret. And yet Trump's Supreme Court chose to ignore that. They chose to roll back the clock because there is an extreme movement in this country that is willing to do anything to stay in power. And if that means dragging us back to the days of Jim Crow, so be it.
You know, I want to say something, and it may be controversial, though, but the politicians and the government officials know that the race that they represent is going down. Like their numbers are going down. Latinos numbers is going up. Asians numbers is going up. Black folks numbers is going down. To be honest with you, we was 14, 15%. Now we 13, almost at 12%. So it's white genetic survival. That's what I feel like it is right now. We're living in a period where it's white genetic survival, and they're surviving to maintain the power that they went to war for. And they willing to die about it. Are we willing to die to obtain power? Or are we willing to die to just get us a peace? Because, you know, they don't respect nothing but war. Going to other countries, taking natural resources and stuff like that. I'm not an advocate for violence at all. But I'm just going off of what I see. That's just exactly what it is. So I took some notes, y'all. You know, everybody don't know what the Voting Rights Act of 1965 is and Martin Luther King's contribution to it, though. But, you know, that was supposed to protect people from discrimination at the polls. But over time, that law has been chipped away. So in 2013, Shelby County versus Holder removed federal oversight of certain states. States no longer needed approval to change voting laws. States didn't need it. So the federal laws made it to where the states don't need approval to change the voting laws. They took away the federal oversight in 2021. That 2013 situation, that was under the Obama administration. Interesting, the Democrats was in power during this time. So in 2021, the Democrats was in power. Joe Biden took away federal oversight. Brnovich versus Democratic National Committee making it harder to prove discrimination. Introduce stricter standards for challenges. This was under the Democrats. That was a Democrat complaining about the civil rights bill. You know what I'm saying? For what's being done now. So in 2026, under the Trump administration, in a case called Louisiana versus Callis, the Supreme Court basically said you can't just use race to draw voting districts. Even if you're trying to protect minority voters, you can't use voting districts. So the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, a coalition of lawmakers focused on advancing the interests of Black Americans. I'm going to say something about this because this is interesting to me. You know, the CBC isn't just one type of Black experience. You know, a lot of the people that's in the Congressional Black Caucus is diverse. They're not Black. So if it's diverse, and it's sort of like what Jesse Jackson was doing back in the days, a rainbow coalition, do you think that the Congressional Black Caucus prioritizes Black people? So, you know, they are policymakers. But now that Trump is in office, they are policy challengers because they can't, you know what I mean, make policy. But when Biden and Kamala had the House, they didn't change no policy for the interests of Black people when they had all the power to do so. You know, I was going to play the clip from Dr. Claude Anderson, but I want to move along in the conversation because I'm fatigued about this whole situation. And, you know, we got to educate each other. Help me out in the comment section because I don't know everything, but I want to contribute to the evolution of us as a whole, as people. And what's next? What are we doing next? Real talk. Let's move along in the conversation. You know, Druski was recently, you know what I mean, presented as the next host for the BET Awards. The youngest host ever for the BET Awards. Druski is doing a phenomenal job annoying people with his skits, annoying Black pastors, Erica Kirk, white guys at NASCAR and stuff. And I'm thoroughly entertained, and Druski is hilarious. Let me give him a round of applause before we even read the article. The youngest MC in the show's 25-year history. So Druski will host the 2026 BET Awards, becoming the youngest MC in show history. BET announced Thursday that the 31-year-old comedian and digital creator will lead the ceremony, which airs live June 28th from the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles. Druski surpasses Kevin Hart, who previously held the distinction as the BET's youngest host when he emceed in 2011. I grew up watching the BET Awards, Druski said in a statement. To know the comedic legends that hosted before me set the bar so high, I'm grateful to be a part of the history. But I'm still bringing my brand of comedy to the stage. Best known for his viral sketches and improvisational style, Druski has built a massive following across social media, translating the momentum into sold-out tours and high-profile collaborations with artists like Drake and Snoop Dogg, as well as appearances alongside figures like Tom Brady and Timothy Chalamet. Druski has been named to Forbes Under 30 list and Rolling Stone's most influential creator list, and in 2025 became the first comedian to cover Billboard's #1 issue. Now, in its 25th year, the BET Awards has long served as a major stage celebrating Black achievement across music, film, television, and sports, and is known for its performances, tributes, and culturally defining moments. As one of the most exciting comedic voices of his generation, Druski brings a unique ability to connect with audiences through humor, that feels both fresh and deeply rooted in culture, said Kanye, Orlando's BET Executive Vice President of Special Music Programming and Music Strategy. The show will be produced by Jesse Collins Entertainment, with Jesse Collins, Dion Harmon, and Janine Ruzan Clay serving as executive producers. Interesting. You know, I want to know y'all thoughts about this. I'm going to give my take. Can Druski revive the BET Awards? Because the BET Awards, the previous year, they was kind of piped up. It was kind of piped up. I like what Tiana Taylor had did. I liked the Glorilla performances, the females and stuff. It wasn't that many men though, but you know, the BET Awards was the last previous year. And Druski's edition, I feel like will make it more entertaining. It'll bring more eyes to it because Druski is hilarious. Druski is a person that does push the boundaries though. He pushed the boundaries. And what are we celebrating this year musically, entertaining wise? I know Michael B. Jordan is going to win a lot of the awards. Athletes, black athletes, you know, I don't know, sports been kind of boring as of recently, to be honest with you, but I'm just interested in seeing what Druski's going to do. Who do y'all think could host it better besides Druski? And are y'all excited to see Druski do his thing? Real talk, because I know I am. Let's move along, man. We got a couple of more topics to talk about. I'm going to react to some music. I got a freestyle I want to react to, and I got 2 songs that was recently released that I want to react to, and I'm going to get up off of this thing, man. The first song that we're going to react to is Wee Longway. Free Wee.
Okay. Ain't gon' back and forth, they already know what we on. We shoot them sticks and blow them choppers, they ain't gon' make it back home. Got a Glock that came with attachment, got a brand new switch on. Ain't gon' never be a day they make a bitch out big homie. They can't treat me like a brick and put that cut on me and step on me. 2 FN, they stuck on me. 30 shot like Curry jersey. Jump on the way, they mirror. I fucked in a hurry. Touching on the dirty 30, Budo got me nervous. I come from the Herbie, Kirby Bells and them birdies. I get my nail did and count my money dirty. Don't tell me about what you done did, cause I ain't worried. Pocket rocket, stendo, every stick, I got a curve on it. Fuck me like a stallion, yeah, this dick came with a curve. See, limited edition, I put it on 4G just to swerve. I got 223s, M16, scope can hit a bird. Sunset 2, they hit your chest and blow out all your nerves. Ain't gon' back and forth, they already know what we on. We shoot them sticks and blow them choppers, they ain't gon' make it back home. Got a Glock that came with attachment, got a brand new switch on it. Ain't gon' never be a day they make a bitch out big homie. Ain't gon' back and forth, they already know what we on. We shoot them sticks and blow them choppers, they ain't gon' make it back home. Got a Glock that came with attachment, got a brand new switch on it. Ain't gon' never be a day they make a bitch out big homie. My credit good will come, my shooter dumb and dumber. Try to run, make them fumble. Stick gon' smoke like it's crumble. We shoot shot like the mumble. Run down by miracle, most wanted. Shoot that blick and get horny. Rackets on me, rich homie. She call me Longway, genuine. She ride that dick like a pony. She said she down with switching sides. She tired of fucking jabroni. Cook that beat like bologna. In the cat, not the scat. Yeah, 2 on the right side, count up while I'm playing with that cat. Walking me with tricks, I made it thick like it's act. Taking it back to OC, MC round on them backs. Nigga don't want no smoke, or we gon' fly just like gnats. They already know we at, we in the south like the net. Long way, ain't gon' back and forth, they already know what we on. We shoot them sticks and blow them choppers, they ain't gon' make it back home. Got a Glock that came with attachment, got a brand new switch on it. Ain't gon' never be a day they make a bitch out big homie. Ain't gon' back and forth, they already know what we on. We shoot them sticks and blow them choppers, they ain't gon' make it back home. Got a Glock that came with attachment, got a brand new switch on it. Ain't gon' never be a day they make a bitch out big homie.
Dope record, man. I remember when I first heard Wee Longway, Young Dolph, and Gucci Man and Thug, and they all had I think it was an album together. I forgot what it was called. It wasn't an album. It was a mixtape. That was around when Dat Piff and Live mixtapes was out. And I like Wee Longway's music. I could tell that he was authentically street and all of that, and he was speaking from experience. Just recently, you know, Wee Longway took a federal plea deal to 10 to 14 years because of his drug charges and things like that. And he got caught with a massive amount of drugs, man. It was like 55,000 pounds of weed, 57 keys of coke, 7.1 kilograms of fentanyl, a kilogram of heroin, and 155 guns. When I heard that, I was like, damn, I can't believe that he got caught with all of that. It didn't seem like it was real. And it seemed like it might have been some sort of a conspiracy. And there was a multitude of people involved in that. But, 155 guns and 57 keys of coke, and to only do 10 to 14 years is very interesting. But, I feel as if jail isn't a place for no man. Once a man evolves in life, things start to change. I'm 46 years old myself, and, I feel like Wee Longway deserves a second chance. And 10 years, if he do 10, salute, come back home and enjoy your life, my brother. Real talk. It's a dirty game out here in these streets, boy. When we come from poverty, we be wanting stuff and we be risking our life to get it. And I just thank God, boy. Hey, them streets, man, if you in them streets, man, get up out them streets, dog. They ain't for nobody. Real talk. We about to switch up the conversation and react to another record. I'm looking forward to AZ's new album, Do or Die 3. He has released 2 singles so far off of the project. I'm looking forward to hearing the record that he's collaborating with Nas on this album, Do or Die 3. It's released through Mass Appeal. And I'm just interested in hearing the project. We get ready to react to this new song, Uniqueness. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Pour me some Prosecco. Dim the lights a little more, you heard? Feel like some Bobby Womack shit. Say show up and show out. Sneaker hoarder, relationship sinking in water. 2 sons got jip, one of the daughter. New guns, bumping it, my knees there at the altar. Bomb culture, whole over, still MC Ultra. Who the roaches, sipping bum punch, sunk in the sofa. One blunt was on a hunt, trying to jump in some chocha. Young Sosa, soloist, seeking asylum. Hitting Sonics on my first album, speaking in volumes. Peep how they wildin', fashion trends keep me from styling. Handsome thin, super slim, trying to sleep with the stallions. Henny gallon, no dimmies, my pennies was palin'. Far from friendly when you bent, let's get you sent to the Allen. Grill salmon, trying to leave alone wings and bones. Pocket dialing with these phones, I'm the king of the tones. Bring me my throne, the lover. E&Y guy from Sutter. In junior high, I used to lie when I stutter. Fly with the butters, Coogee sweaters, cop them in colors. I'm not like the others, not buster. Kept boxes of rubbers, it's over. Your boy sober, sitting back 30 years older. Stare closer, see the tears in my shoulders. Distilling, lost feelings. Need therapy for the healing. From what I see, I could never be a civilian. We're touching the millions. Who to trust, fooling with lust. I have you doing everything but never doing enough. Just flew to the cut. First Ghana, then Botswana, it's a lot to ponder. Travel back right after Kwanzaa, quick reminder. Life short, visit resorts, spirits and sports. How you move, mirror your thoughts. Message was caught, unwrapped, place in my lap. The greatest is back, tell the haters, make me a plaque. 30 billion streams predicted, and we ain't even mix it. It's that next level shit. AZX Squad, poet extraordinaire. Kept it peace since day one. My word always my bomb, regardless to whom or what. Rather unique, I travel through beats. Correlate with crime, most my kind is deceased. Vying for the streets, never those that line up they peeps. It's the ones who will is weak and thirst knowledge and seek. We civil, read through riddles. Court cases lead to acquittals. The chiseled in our presence, they shrivel. Words is scribble. If action ain't applied to assist, was fly in this. From the mix, I survived the abyss. Highly equipped to cope. My nig did his bit on the boat. Out of her wig, his whiz slid him some dope. He home. Only wanted fear, guard and some phones. A low knitted, yank fitted, and Bulgari cologne. I hit him. When tour stop, I spin the block and get him. Just heard the word that his ops got with him. Gave him his wings. A few niggas keep it a beam. He was one, do or die. Guess we all get a run. More money, more murder. Life as we know it. Not how it should be, but it's the laws of nature. do or die, 3 decades and counting. Who else could pour their heart out and paint pictures at the same time? A toast to the official survivors of the urban corner Cold War. Never compromise, calculated and conquered any and all oppositions that stood in their path. This is preordained. I salute y'all. With God.
You know, at one point in time, I was saying that Big Crit was the most underrated artist of all time. Then at one point in time, I was saying Wale was the most underrated artist of all time. But listening to AZ's music, his bars, the substance, how he presents it, you know, it's unprecedented how people don't appreciate that no more. Authenticity. People appreciate what's popular. When I heard that soul sample and me implementing soul samples in my new record, I listened to what's popping today and how soul has been removed from the music. Makes me think that the producers and the artists are soulless. Phenomenal record. I'm looking forward to the album. I'm going to react to the album ASAP as soon as it drops. I appreciate y'all tuning in to my show. Appreciate everybody supporting me. Salute to the La Familia. I'm up off of this thing, man. Peace, love, plenty, abundance. Make sure you go get you some money. And I'm gone. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.